You ever see a place that just feel wrong? Not haunted, not cursed, just wrong. Like reality folds around it differently. There's this house in my hometown that's exactly like that. I grew up in a quiet town in Missouri where nothing much ever happened. No big crimes, no real news, just churches, diners, and the same tired high school football team. But then there was that house. Every town has one, I guess. The kind kids dare each other to run up to on Halloween. Ours sat on the edge of a dead-end road, right against the woods, like it was trying to hide. People called it Holloway House, though no one named Holloway had lived there in decades. In fact, no one had lived there at all since long before I was born. It wasn't falling apart like you'd expect. The paint was flaking and the shutters hung crooked, but it looked intact, almost too intact, like time forgot it. But the real reason people stayed away wasn't because of how it looked. It was because no one ever came out of it. Not a myth, not an exaggeration. It's a known thing in town. Anyone who goes in that house never walks back out. And yeah, I know how it sounds. Urban legend, campfire BS, but here's the thing. People have gone in. I know 2 kids from high school who thought they were hot shit and decided to break in on a dare. The sheriff said they must have run away, but their bikes were still leaning against the mailbox when the sun came up. One of them left his phone recording. It streamed nothing but static and low, garbled whispers for 12 straight hours before dying. I never had the urge to go near that place, not until my brother disappeared. His name was Travis. He was always obsessed with that damn house. Drew it in his sketchbooks, talked about the gravity around it, said it pulled at him when he rode past it on his bike. He wasn't scared of it, he was enchanted. He disappeared on October 17th of last year. His bike was found on Holloway Road, leaning against the mailbox, just like the others. The cops barely searched. They called it a runaway case again, said he'd had trouble adjusting after Mom died. They wouldn't listen when I told them he wouldn't do that to me, to us. Not Travis, not the kid who still slept with the hall light on and always told me if he was going somewhere. So I decided to go in myself. I know. You're probably yelling at me already. Don't go in the murder house, dumbass. But you don't understand. I had to, because I heard him. 2 nights after he vanished, I was lying awake, crying into my pillow when I heard my phone buzz. One new voicemail. It was static at first, and then, "Help me." Travis's voice, faint, warped, but it was him. Then something else, deeper, overlapping it like 2 tapes playing at once. "Don't let it open." I didn't sleep after that. The next day, I bought a flashlight, a burner phone, and a body cam off Amazon. I left a note in my apartment, told my best friend if I didn't check in by morning, call the sheriff. My plan was simple. Go in, find proof, get out. But plans don't mean much in Holloway House. I walked there just before dusk. Everything looked normal, too normal. The lawn was overgrown but neat, like someone was still mowing it once in a while. The front door wasn't even locked. It opened like it was waiting. The air inside was heavy. Not dusty or moldy, just thick. Every breath felt like I was inhaling warm syrup. The layout was standard old farmhouse. Narrow hallway, stairs on the right, living room on the left, kitchen in back. But here's where things started getting strange. There were no shadows. I don't mean the house was lit. My flashlight was the only thing working. I mean, even when I shone it on things, they didn't cast shadows. Not the chairs, not the banister, not even me. The deeper I went, the more the house seemed to resist me. Floors creaked behind me. Walls shifted in the corners of my eyes. Once, I turned around, and the door I'd just walked through was gone, replaced by a blank wall. And that's when I heard him. Anna. My name. From upstairs. It was Travis's voice, but strained, like it was being dragged across broken glass. I bolted up the stairs, flashlight trembling in my hand. The hallway at the top was impossibly long. I swear I passed the same door 4 or 5 times, all of them locked. Until the 6th one. It swung open before I even touched it. Inside was a small bedroom. Walls lined with peeling wallpaper. A bed with rotting sheets. A dresser that still had a mirror. And in that mirror was me. But not me. It was like looking at a wax figure of myself that had started to melt. The reflection blinked a half-second out of sync. Its smile didn't match my face. And behind it, behind me, stood something. Tall, gray, faceless, watching me. I spun around, nothing there. When I looked back at the mirror, the reflection was gone. Just an empty room. Then the whisper came again. Don't let it open. I should have left then. I wanted to, but I wasn't alone. In the corner of the room, curled up like a broken doll, was Travis. I rushed to him. His skin was pale, eyes wide and hollow. He didn't speak, just trembled. I pulled him up, told him we were leaving. And that's when the walls began to breathe. They pulsed, slow and heavy, like the house itself had lungs. A deep groaning echoed through the halls. The air vibrated with the sound of something massive waking up. We ran, or tried to, but the halls didn't lead back. Doors opened into endless rooms, loops of the same staircase, windows that showed nothing but gray fog. Time broke in that place. I don't know how long we wandered, an hour, a day. Eventually we reached the basement. Travis screamed not to go in, but the stairs crumbled behind us. There was no choice. At the bottom was a door, steel, rusted, covered in handprints, pushed from the inside. My brother whispered something I'll never forget. It's not the house, it's what's under it. Then the door began to open, and something started to come out. I can't describe it. My eyes won't let me. They blur when I try. It was all wrong angles and shapes that moved without moving. But Travis, he turned to me, clear-eyed for the first time. Run! He slammed the door and screamed at me to go. I hesitated, just for a second, and the wall behind me split open like a wound. I fell through it. When I woke up, I was lying on Holloway Road. The house was gone. Just a clearing now, like it had never been there at all. They found me 6 hours later, dehydrated and babbling. I told the sheriff everything. They wrote it off as trauma. But here's the part that keeps me up at night. A week ago, I got another voicemail. Just static at first. Then Travis, don't let it open. And then, in a voice I've never heard before, a voice that didn't sound human. One down, more to go. If you made it this far, you're one of the few who came back. But the story doesn't end here. Like the video if your heart's still beating. Subscribe if you dare. And remember, some houses stay abandoned for a reason. See you in the next nightmare.